and brothers. The Christmas experience and time and season presents a wonderful time for us to pause and reflect. And today, this is what we want us to be doing as we pause in this season of celebration. Today is the second Sunday of this Advent season, and normally we usually do focus on one of the four aspects of the season. Today we have chosen peace. There is a Christmas-related story and experience I want to draw to your attention in St. Mark chapter 4, from verse 35 to verse 41. Might not be so linked readily in our experience and reflection of Christmas and Advent. But it's that time when Jesus and his disciples were in a boat. And as they traveled, they encountered difficult waters. They looked around and there was no Jesus. But they looked even further and they realized that, according to St. Mark, he was in the bottom of the boat, sleeping on a mat. What a calamity. Jesus in the boat was sleeping. Well, it reminds us that between the book of Malachi, the last book of the Old Testament, and the book of Matthew, the first book of the New Testament, spans over 400 years when it is said that God was silent. Or is it that mankind was not hearing God? And this experience tells me something, first of all, that in much the same way that God seemed to have been silent, Jesus was silent in the boat. And it tells me that like those disciples were sailing, you and I continue to sail on this ship called life. And remember those ships, don't we? Yes. The friend ship and the partner ship and the fellow ship and the tough one called hard ship. Life. And some of us, particularly in this season, for various reasons, we feel like 400 years when God stopped talking, when we're not hearing God. Or we feel like we are in this ship and things going on haywire, calamity happening, but Jesus is silent or asleep. Take a break, take a holiday, take a vacation. Jesus, God is just not speaking. And it really affirms and confirms that it's life. And sometimes we find ourselves battling situations, and all seems well. But we remember and we know that the absence of war doesn't always mean peace. And the absence of challenges, seemingly, and all the things that characterize restlessness sometimes are not so real, but deep within, there's that lack of peace. This Advent season and this Christmas season reminds us and challenges us. First of all, it reminds us that God in Jesus Christ has and continues to be willing to break into our situation and to declare a word, peace. Be still. And this word comes from the Master, who himself, the Bible declares, is the Prince of Peace. He himself, Isaiah, 800 years before Christmas, unto us a child is born, son is given, government shall be upon his shoulder, the name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. This Christmas season reminds us and challenges us that God has broken already into our situation. It reminds and challenges us further that there is a difference between Christ being on the boat, or in the boat, or in the house, but not acknowledged. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Proverbs 3:5-6. In all thy ways. And you remember that story in St. John 2 where Jesus turned water to wine? He was already at the wedding. He was there. But he didn't turn water to wine until his mother said, come on, boy. Do something you can. He was acknowledged. There's a difference between Christ in the home, Christ anywhere, because he's omnipresent. There's a difference with calling on him, in acknowledging him, in turning to him, because all others will fail.